What is going on, wrestling fans? It is Sunday, November 23rd, and you are watching Wrestling Warm-Up right here at WrestlingRumors.net. That means there's a pay-per-view tonight, if you want to call it that. There's a main event tonight, and then there's some other matches thrown in around the card, and we'll get to that. But Survivor Series, of course, free for new subscribers of the WWE Network. I do know at least 6 of my friends actually signed up for the network just to be able to watch this show tonight because of major rumors that broke out over the last 48 hours about what may or may not take place on tonight's show. A lot of old school fans may actually subscribe. If this rumor isn't even true, then the company did the best thing they could do and leak it online so that there's so many subscribers that come December 1st, they're going to be raking in subscriber money. But to me, it only pays off if they actually do come through with the rumor tonight. And we'll get to that very shortly. We are joined by our esteemed panel of guests, Mr. John Alba, who it's been a while since you've been on here, Danny Zuko. What's going on, brother?
I've missed y'all. Let me ask you something. Are we paying for this tonight? Like, legitimate question. Are we paying for this because we're pre-subscribed and everything?
We are. The ones that have the network are paying for this. Yeah, of course.
$9.99 for it.
Yay! You can cancel any time now, Doug. You can cancel any time. Of course, Mr. Christopher Walder with his Raptors icon like a pro.
Hashtag RTZ. Hashtag
deal with that again.
We got you in the blood. We got you.
This is the appropriate time for the Slick laugh. Oh no, the Tony Atlas laugh.
Theme song. What's going on, brother?
What's up, Mr. Fingers?
What's up, man? That's I like that. That's appropriate. Bully. I do. John actually called me one of the vaudevillains earlier, and I said I really wish they didn't change their theme song because it sounds just like William Regal's. And I
Holy balls!
You do not need to put both of them on the same show. This past Thursday night's NXT, the vaudevillains come out first, or like the second segment, and then William Regal comes out later, and I'm like, these are the same exact theme songs. What is happening right now?
Can you flex and say manly, please?
Do you want it?
Manly!
Manly! I love it. Roborovsky. She had a fabulous set of New York boobs. All right, let's move on to tonight's pay-per-view, of course.
I have to talk about that.
Survivor Series. And we're just going to go straight from the shoot. We're going to go from what we believe may even open the card. We're going to go with the kickoff match, which we know opens the card. And it's Fandango in his triumphant return with his new valet, Rosa Mendez, who nobody gives two Latin hair. Weird-looking boobs about. No, I mean, honestly, what is this going to be? It's Fandango with a mystery opponent, with rumors about the fact that the New Day may debut tonight. I'm going to go ahead and say the New Day debuts. If it's one or if it's all three that just come out and stomp this guy out, Fandango's just there to be a fall guy tonight. That's my opinion. With a mystery opponent, that's the only way it can go. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, first off, it's obviously Sting. Second off, I mean,
that's the only thing that'll be dropping, by the way. No one's, yeah.
Fandango did say the other day in an interview that we were going to be seeing a newer Fandango on television soon, so maybe this is the reignition of a mid-card push for him. We'll see. Depends on who his opponent is. Oh, God, I don't care. Give me Fandango. Give me Fandango. I'll say the New Day debuts tomorrow on Raw. Give me Fandango.
What you think, guys? Who's taking on Fandango tonight?
Who cares? Like they're not gonna hype the return of Fandango, who's been off TV for forever and a half, and then have the New Day come out and just stomp him for 5 minutes.
Who's gonna face him?
It could be anybody on the roster.
Might be Slater or something.
It'll be the one-man band.
Yeah, it could be Heath Slater for all we know. So, and he's working with Rosa Mendez, so let's not get carried away with some sort of mid-card push here. He's just returning. They have no one else they could put in the opening pre-show except for an Adam Rose versus the Bunny match, which we might actually get on Survivor Series. So, You never know.
If we get that match, do we find out who the bunny is tonight?
No.
Okay.
I think we do.
Just the bunny. They're just gonna keep the bunny thing going.
We'll get to that, but I don't know. Alex,
Alex,
Alex, tell me who Fandango faces tonight.
Probably the Axeman, but no, for real, I could see Adam Rose. I could honestly see Adam Rose having a match with Fandango if you actually want to build him back up just a wee little bit. You have the Bunny cost him the match, so you don't have to go around this stupid Bunny versus Adam Rose match, and you could actually build Fandango a little bit up. But I mean, it's an hour pre-show. The match is going to be like 5 minutes, so why should I care about it?
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see Fandango debut a new finisher tonight.
We'll probably get 2 matches though because it's an hour, right? They'll just have something unannounced.
They'll do one, but can we just? You're gonna get Adam Rose and the Bunny on the card. We have 5 matches. There's 5 matches on the card. That's it.
Either that or
they're gonna get some filler matches. I don't care what they're not gonna be advertised. We didn't predict them, and we can talk about who we would see go over right here on this show. But there's no way that we're not going to see, say, Heath Slater or Titus O'Neil versus Adam Rose in a little while, and the Bunny cost him the match. If that doesn't even happen, we're going to see Adam Rose versus the Bunny. Maybe they set the match up during the kickoff match, or during the kickoff show, but either way.
Maybe the Bunny
There's
is
5
the new
matches
authority
on the
figure.
card. What?
Maybe the Bunny's the new authority figure.
Oh, my God.
It's hilarious. It's a bunny.
Derailed in
It
the
writes
first
itself.
8 minutes.
He's a rabbit.
Oh, Lord. At least it's not a midget rabbit. Then it would be he's GM for 3 years. But the funny there's 5 matches. We know the main event's going to go probably 45 minutes to an hour. I'm fine with that. That one's going to start at 10 o'clock and probably run at 10:45, 10:50. I'm fine with that. You got your 10 biggest names that's in the company right now going at it. And then you got 2 in another match. You got basically 2 main events. They're not booking it as 2 main events like they did last month because John Cena and Zack actually back at the top of the card. But the funny thing is you're gonna get some filler, and I don't know what because let's talk about it. There's a Divas Survivor Series elimination match like there always is, and it's the Total Divas cast. With if I'm looking at the image right now, Naomi looks like the Princess and the Frog inverted colors. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but the girl's rocking neon green lipstick for some reason. I don't know. This is going to be a cluster among matches, and of course I don't know what anybody else picked. I don't have the predictions pulled up. I'm just going to ask you guys: who did you pick to win this match? What team's winning? Who's the sole survivor? My money is going to be on the British Bombshell.
We all picked the same damn thing.
Mm.
We all picked Paige.
Yep.
Everyone
We
was
all picked Paige.
The only one who picked Paige, Summer Rae, and Cameron to survive was Will.
Why is Cameron surviving? And
I have no clue.
The guy in dead last place in our prediction.
2 British bombshells on that team.
Oh yeah, Layla. Yeah.
Oh,
That's your girl.
that is my girl. I mean the super pale one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a way.
You know who I mean.
I'll tell you what, I would get the other girls eliminated and just let Natty and Paige go at it for 5-6 minutes or so.
I'll go ahead and say that it's either Cameron or Emma that goes out first.
We were talking about this the other day. Emma would have been better off getting fired and using her name in the Indies.
Oh, totally.
After that happened, she's useless.
She should have came out like rocking an iPod. I mean, that's honestly what should have happened from day one. And then she could have talked about stealing the show. Like
We'll call her the Repo Woman. It'll be great.
It'll be great. Put her in a raccoon mask. Let her go out there. It worked for.
She should have Tyson Kidd's gimmick, coming down with the Beats headphones and the iPod, and she's just oblivious to what's going on around her. That would have been hilarious.
Have her come out as the Repo Girl. That'd be hilarious. I think that'd be funny. If it worked for a Russian demolition tag team member, I think we'll be all right. Russian.
Yeah, I mean, I'd let Natty and Paige go at it, and then eventually the heels go over.
But, I mean, again, that's a match that no one is going to care about. That's your glorified piss break.
Considering the NXT show was on December 11th, they could have easily thrown NXT guys into a Survivor Series.
I agree completely.
They dropped the ball by not having... It's easy. You just have Neville, Zayn, and the Dragons versus the Vaudevillains, Kid and Breeze. That's it. And you promote the show. And you get some NXT. You get a traditional Survivor Series tag team match with NXT guys
gives them the rub, and it gets them to promote their upcoming TakeOver Our Evolution event. And, you know, at the end, you have the faces win, and you have Zayn and Neville stare down each other and have Neville hold up the belt. And there you go. Instant pay-per-view quality tag team bout, because you know it would steal the show.
Well, they've done little to no promotion for that TakeOver special on television.
Well, they just started promoting it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got 3 weeks. They're just starting the promotion for it. So we're going to see a lot more over the next 3 weeks. They just titled it on this past episode of NXT, and of course they just made the main event. If Sami Zayn doesn't win the title, he's going to quit NXT. Guess what? Guess what that means?
Winning the title. He's
Sami Zayn, one of the best talents in the company.
Or it means he quits NXT and goes straight to the main roster.
That ain't happening. That's not the way that character's designed.
Obviously, it's not happening.
Why can't it happen?
I don't watch NXT.
Okay, well then that's okay. Then you don't know that it's
not happening.
Why can't it happen?
Because the character is literally
He's all about winning the title.
He's got to win the title.
He's on the road to redemption.
That's right. And he already got screwed once by his best friend. So we'll see what happens.
He needs new friends, man.
He does. Best friend that goes all over the world that wants to give him, that, you know, makes William Regal. I will say this: for the first time in the history of WWE in the last 3 years, when a guy has challenged the champion to a rematch or to a championship match, Adrian Neville's the first champ to go, "Hey, I'd love to give it to you." But there's an authority figure backstage that has to come out and make the match official, and William Regal had to come out and actually make the match. When in the world over the last 3 years did WWE decide, okay, we're going to make GMs relevant again?
Well, I mean, I think we
He
can
makes all of his own matches. I don't.
This is going to lead to a Kevin Owens Sami Zayn feud, which is going to be awesome.
Let's just, I mean, let's. And we could talk about this now, and we'll talk about it more before. We'll do a special wrestling warm-up before NXT TakeOver Our Evolution, so we can talk more about the card then. But with Kevin Owens debuting on that show, you can guarantee this guy is either going to come out once and get introduced by William Regal and be face, and then come out later after Sami Zayn wins the title and ruins the moment, or he's just going to come out after Sami Zayn wins the title, stare down, or whatever. My thought process is bring Owens in as a monster heel and have him go straight at Zayn right after he wins the title. It plays into Zayn's character of this guy's been working for the last 2 years to get to the NXT championship. He finally wins it, and you know you're expecting this major celebration time, and boom, Owens comes out. Obviously, he's not going to be able to hit the package pile driver, even though that would be my top thing I'd love to see happen. But I do believe that they should go that route. They should go Owens comes out late, it shakes his hand even, and then just lays him out, and that's how we start that feud.
I would love to see kind of what they did at WrestleMania 19 when Roddy Piper came out and laid out Hogan during his match with Vince McMahon, but Hogan still won. Right. So why not have Owens come out when the referee has his back turned, or if he's out, or thrown into a corner or whatever? Owens hits, with Zayn with a clothesline. Zayn kicks out, and Zayn still wins the title because I think they want
it
that
looks
sort
like
of
Neville's cheating, though. It looks like Neville's cheating at that point. It doesn't look like they're ready to go full blown.
No. It has nothing to do with Neville. It has everything to do with Owens coming out. Neville has nothing to do with it. And I think they really want to end that show with Zayn posing to the fans and him having this really big moment.
We'll see. We got plenty of time to talk about that.
Totally do. But we need to get back to talk about Survivor Series because we only have 45 minutes left for that. The tag team titles are on the line in a fatal four-way. They couldn't figure out anything else to do for this. So they took all 4 tag teams that are active on their roster and threw them into one match for the titles. Your champions are Stardust and Goldust. And Los Fuertes got in this match in some way, shape, or form. I don't understand. We can all assume that they're not going to win these titles. So if the titles change hand tonight, and this is my prediction, I put them on Miz and Mizdow. Thoughts? What are your predictions for this match?
It has to be.
Tell me why it has to be.
Because
that's definitive.
You watch the 4 tag teams interact, and they've done a decent job building this program between all 4 teams. They've been showcasing them. It's all about Mizdow. Everyone is in love with him, and the possibilities are endless for when you put the titles on. If we thought it was funny with Team Hell No, imagine what these guys can do.
You mean Damien Stingdow?
Right, Damien Sting down. My bad.
Yes. But no, I mean, Walter, what's your thoughts here?
They don't need the belts. I'm going with Goldust and Stardust to retain because they do need the championship belts by process of elimination. Plus, Los Matadores, let's be honest, they don't have a ghost of a chance in this thing. The Usos, they had their tag team title run. I'm surprised this actually isn't an elimination match, considering it's Survivor Series. I think that would make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, that
but
would
with Damien Sandow and The Miz being as over as they are, I think they can just take that gimmick to new and exciting places without the tag team titles. And you know, I'd rather it not go from a heel team to a heel team anyways. So with that being said, Dust Brothers keep the titles.
AB.
Yeah, I have the same thing because I really don't think they'd need the titles. Sure, Miz and Mizdow having the titles could help their character progression, but then you have no opponents for Miz and Mizdow. You only have the Usos as your only other face tag team.
You can rotate the other guys in and out.
You can, but I just think the Dust need the belts more than Miz and Mizdow do because you could just have Miz and Mizdow always just come, you know, just so close. Maybe have a spot where Mizdow has the match won, but Miz gets out of the ring.
It would become a very similar situation to Team Hell No, where Team Hell No technically starts as a heel tag team and just gets thrown heel and face tag teams because it wasn't about who they're facing, it's about them themselves.
Right, and I'm surprised. What I'm hearing from Walter and from B-Song is that the titles make somebody instead of the guy is supposed to be making the titles. Y'all are saying that Goldust and Stardust need the titles.
No, because it gives them something to do with the Miz and Mizdow with the reactions they're getting. You could throw them into any situation and they're going to get the fans to cheer for them. I think the Dust Brothers right now, if they lose the titles, what the hell do you do with those two guys?
Yeah, it's too early to split them. That's probably going to happen more towards like
They still
WrestleMania.
get at least another month of chasing.
Yeah, I mean, I think they still obviously they get a rematch. So I think that and God knows WWE may even do that on free TV. So who knows? As if this pay-per-view isn't free. So who cares? And you know, to me, if I'm rebuilding, if I want to build a tag team division that's worth a damn. Then I need guys that the fans want to see holding the titles. And for me, the money is Mizdow's the most over in this whole entire event.
Well,
So,
you know what?
put the titles on him.
There's
They
always
can do better for the titles.
There's always a chance that the Dust Brothers retain tonight, and we do have a pay-per-view called TLC coming up. Maybe we see a rematch with all four teams in a ladder match.
You could see Mizdow and Miz win and still get all four teams in the ladder match.
True.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Do we need all four teams? Can't the Wastadores go die? I mean, I don't know.
they could. I'm not gonna go that extreme, but you know what?
I'm just kidding. I don't want anybody to die. That was
Just the characters.
just
Most
the
Matadores in a
characters.
ladder match would be kind of cool. That's all.
They do a good job.
Because then the Bull's gonna come out with a mini ladder and
What's
have
wrong
some
with
stupid
that?
spot.
We
It's a
already
stupid
saw
spot.
WLC. It doesn't
I
matter.
thought WLC was the coolest thing ever.
We might
We need
get
a
WLC
second
again. Don't even act like we might not.
Drew McIntyre made WLC, so it doesn't matter because he's
That's
gone.
exactly the
So-
most graceful fly over the ropes I've ever seen in my life. It was like it was in slow motion right onto that daggone ladder. Oh my goodness gracious!
He went through tables.
He did go through tables.
Yeah.
That's right. It wasn't the ladder. Oh my gosh, that match. It was entertaining. I will give you that. It was an entertaining bout.
Thank you.
So we got the Divas Championship also on the line, and I do remember looking at the predictions. I think we were a little split down the middle here. I think some people picked AJ Lee to retain, and some people picked Nikki Bella. Myself, I picked Nikki Bella. I think this is the time. I think they're going to actually put the title on her. I think they've been building towards this. It'll give us a Brie versus Nikki feud for the title here soon, and I mean her 30 days are almost up as her assistant. And if all the rumors about AJ Lee are true, which she is supposed to be there all the way until TLC, so maybe we do get an AJ Lee win. But for me, I think it's Nikki Bella. I'm going with the heel getting the victory here. Your thoughts, your predictions, go.
Oh, once now.
Go means somebody chime in.
Go ahead, Chris.
All right. Well, I differed from Doug here. I went with AJ Lee. I'm not sold on her leaving just because I was the one who actually wrote the piece for WrestlingRumors.net about AJ and the possibility of her pulling a CM Punk and heading home. But I'm not really buying into it yet, just because we have heard rumors about AJ leaving for a long time now, and she's still here. So, and if she is advertised through TLC, I expect her to hold on to the gold, and maybe we get a rematch at TLC. Maybe you throw Brie in there and make it a triple threat match. But tonight at Survivor Series, I think Brie costs Nikki the match, and AJ retains.
AB.
Yeah, I have the same thing as Walter, basically. I think Brie's going to end up just costing Nikki the match. That way you can build a TLC with this triple threat or even fatal four-way if you throw Paige in there, because more than likely, like we said, she's going to be the sole survivor of her match. I just don't see AJ Lee leaving the company until TLC, maybe even longer than that, honestly. And I think her last match will be something in which she loses the Divas Championship, but I don't see that happening for now.
I'm going with Nikki Bella. I'm kind of with you, Doug. I think that you could work a triple threat program between her, Brie, and Nikki at TLC. They've already given us Nikki beating Brie, and they've already given us Brie beating Nikki. So why do we care to see a one-off match between them?
Right.
So
other than this whole stupid assistant thing.
Right. So let's, and we saw AJ lay out both of them already.
Right.
So let's work that into a triple threat program with Nikki having the title.
And we know that AJ Lee herself has said she wants to do a ladder match for the Divas Championship. She wants to do a more hardcore bout. What if it's her last match? They go triple threat with the ladder.
And considering
that makes me more interested in a Divas match. I'll tell you that right now.
Considering we're so close to WrestleMania, I mean, I know CM Punk just was fed up with his entire situation, but with the payday, I don't know how big it is because of the network and whatnot, but I think AJ would at least want to get to WrestleMania, no?
Let me tell you something. That woman never has to worry about money another day in her life.
Yeah, but she's a diehard wrestling fan at heart. I mean, WrestleMania is a big deal to someone like that.
Well, AJ Brooks, according to her new website, has plenty of things that she's working on, so...
Her abs, baby.
Yeah, I don't like chicks with abs. Not my thing.
What?
Nope.
Not the Nicole Bastard.
That's not enough Nicole Bastard. No, see, I don't like that. Dean Ambrose is facing Bray Wyatt in a program that no one has seen the build for because it's been airing on Friday night SmackDown. They had dropped the ball so quickly with this feud, and we talked about it a little bit on Monday night. Walter, you made some really good points about it, and I want to know who you picked and what your thoughts are after seeing what happened on Monday night, which was nothing.
I mean, I'm disappointed with the way this whole thing has turned out, but I reserve the right to change that opinion because I do think this is going to go another couple of months. It's the charisma between both guys, their ability to talk on the microphone. They need to really prolong this and give these guys an opportunity to really shine. I think their biggest problem is that so much emphasis was put on the main event, which we'll talk about later, between Team Cena and Team Authority, that WWE is just, we'll do what we can with Ambrose and Wyatt. We'll give them some time on SmackDown, but it's not getting the respect that it deserves. And this was the number one thing coming out of Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
Hell in a Cell finished with Bray Wyatt laying out Dean Ambrose, and right away everyone on Twitter was like, oh my god, WWE is really going to go with this and give these guys a chance, but they haven't done so. Based on his track record on pay-per-views, I would think Dean Ambrose is going to lose. It gives them more of a reason to continue, but you could also make that point with Bray Wyatt. Before he left, he had his victories over Jericho, but he was kind of on a downswing himself, so I'm going to just kind of flip a coin here, say Bray Wyatt.
B-Song.
See, I went a completely different route. I said no contest because, I mean, they haven't built up the feud that much, like we said. They just got lost in the shuffle, so neither guy can really take a loss, like we said. Bray Wyatt, it's his first singles match in a pay-per-view since returning. Ambrose, on the other hand, he loses on pay-per-view most of the time. His momentum would be stalled with a loss, in my opinion, so I think they should just go out, have them brawl, have the crowd actually get behind this feud for the first time because they haven't built it up. Fans will want to see more. That way you have it end with them either like a double DQ, them just fighting outside the ring. That way fans are actually invested into the feud, and then you can go TLC, Royal Rumble with them actually having like matches with a real finish.
I'm not going to lie to you that I actually picked a definitive winner for this, but I like the no contest stipulation or result because I literally waffled between Bray Wyatt or no contest. Walter made a good point on Monday where we may see someone become a new Wyatt family member tonight on the pay-per-view. Maybe we see somebody join up and try to take out Ambrose. And, of course, we have a rumor that came out today that Roman Reigns has been flown to St. Louis by the WWE and is supposed to appear on the program tonight. And he's either going to be appearing during the main event segment or during this match. And if there's somebody that comes out to obliterate Dean Ambrose at the helm of, or at the whim of Bray Wyatt, then maybe we get Roman Reigns come to the aid of Dean Ambrose. I don't know what we're going to see tonight from Roman Reigns if he actually appears on the show, but I could see a no contest. I could see a DQ or something. Because you're right, neither one of these guys can afford a loss right here. But at the same time, the way Dean Ambrose is so hot that he can't actually lose and it not really stall his momentum if this program's going to keep going. And Bray Wyatt just came back with him saying it's coming, and it meaning the destruction, desolation, and everything he was saying in that promo, laying people to waste and doing all that kind of. We haven't seen any of that since he's actually debuted, so maybe tonight is when we get a definitive Bray Wyatt win. But to me, if you do a definitive Bray Wyatt win, which I have predicted, I do think Bray Wyatt gets the victory, that saves Bray Wyatt's character, but then why does the feud keep going? Dean Ambrose is just pissed off that he lost. I mean, what do we see here, Alba?
I have Bray Wyatt as well. I like the no DQ finish. I've got Wyatt for the exact reason that you said, that Ambrose can afford a loss. It's not the case with Ryback, where Ryback kept losing on pay-per-views and that was the end of him in that run. Ambrose has the charisma to withstand losses.
Yep.
I can see someone else being added to the mix. I don't know who it would be, but I can see someone else getting added to the mix potentially to spice things up. At the same time, though, I can also see this being booked in the same exact way where the first match with Jericho, and everyone called me crazy when I suggested Jericho just hits a code breaker out of nowhere, even though Wyatt dominated the whole match. And that's exactly what happened. And maybe we see something similar to that. I don't want to see something similar to that. I don't want to, but maybe that's what we see. Still, I'll stick with Wyatt.
The thing is when you say that kind of thing, we saw what it did to Bray Wyatt. This is a character that's supposed to be almost godlike, an eater of worlds, this guy that's supposed to be just bringing on destruction and mayhem. And he got taken out by a code breaker, and it just instantly stalled his momentum, especially after losing to John Cena over and over again. So it was not a good time for that. And I don't think him just coming back from taking an extended leave over a month and a half so that he could build back some momentum and intrigue.
I agree.
Time to do it again.
I don't want to see Ambrose get the win here. I think it has to be Wyatt or it has to be no contest. I'm with you.
Do you think Roman Reigns makes an appearance during this match?
I'm not so certain that Roman Reigns is going to be on television tonight. The report said that his status for the pay-per-view itself hadn't been determined.
Yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm playing rumor builder.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him being tomorrow to start a TLC build or something.
Oh, he's definitely wrestling at TLC.
Yeah, it seems like he will be wrestling at TLC, so I could see that tomorrow, and they're just having him on board. But hey, maybe the seeds do get planted where he starts working on something. I mean, the last thing we heard from him was that he was going after Rollins, so I don't know if he'll be with Ambrose, per se.
What do you think, guys? Reigns?
As far as Reigns coming back, I mean, you can add Reigns to the list of people that are apparently supposed to return or debut tonight. I don't think all of them are going to come on the show, so I think Reigns is probably the easiest to say. Probably not. I think the chances of Bray Wyatt aligning with two other guys are greater than Reigns appearing during the match.
Are those two other guys the Ascension?
That would seem like the safe choice, yes. It does. I mean, I can't think of anybody else that would be with him.
I don't want to see two guys with Wyatt if he's going to get more. I want to see one guy really get the perennial rub, if you will, from being.
But who would it be then?
Oh, I don't know. That's what
Axel.
I said.
Yeah.
Everyone's just assuming Axel because of his beard.
It's not his beard.
I don't think it's his beard either, Alex. Tell me why you think it's Curtis Axel that may align with Bray Wyatt.
We're on
the same page.
I always harp on this. When he first debuted with Paul Heyman, he was in the main event of Raw. He was facing Triple H, and then they had that whole Triple H is concussed, that kind of angle, which
was great.
It was great, but you still
that wasn't great.
Just to build up. build up Axel. You build up Axel only to have him as a stopgap for Brock Lesnar. You need to give him some kind of just one more push. You had him fail with Ryback, you had him fail with Paul Heyman. He would be someone that would be good in that role, just to kind of have Bray Wyatt have this other man. You don't have to have two men, just one man in the Axe Man. He'll be all right.
I was just thinking, could WWE just troll the hell out of us with these stupid promos and have a New Day aligned with Bray Wyatt? That would be hilarious.
I'm not gonna let you.
I was just thinking of that. That would be pretty funny.
But then Bray Wyatt would have to be black, and that's not gonna happen. So.
Who cares? Call it
I would go crazy for a Kofi heel turn. I really.
He needs a heel turn.
Anyway, this is a heel group. Why is everyone?
We don't know that. We do not know that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this group is not gonna be this preacher gimmick. I think this is all a cover up for what's really coming. That's it. I'm not saying it's gonna be the nation. I'm not saying it's gonna be the Nation of Domination. I'm not gonna be that kind of dude. I'm just saying that it's not gonna be this happy-go-lucky. Hey, it's a new day. You know, let's juke and jive. Let's be stereotypical black men. You know, that have a gospel choir behind us. I mean, you saw Xavier Woods act like James Brown. You saw Kofi Kingston have more of a flamboyant pastor role, and then you had Big E running the Martin Luther King accent, and Coming to America pastor accent that he used in a promo on Raw 5 months ago. You saw him punish that with a handkerchief, like he owned it. And he stood like an idiot. I don't know why he's still standing with his arms crossed like he's Big E again. Like I don't know why they even threw that in the video. But I don't think they're going to run with that gimmick being like that. I think it's going to be dark. I don't think it's going to be like this. I don't think they're going to go full on Nation Domination, Black Power. Let's do this thing. But I really think it's not going to be this happy-go-lucky thing, because each one of those guys I really believe could own a heel character. And you got the Usos. Honestly, you could turn Miz and Mizdow face in a heartbeat. Why not bring this new stable of guys in, these three guys that can work like the Freebirds, all interchanging their partners at any time? Make them heel. And make
feel bad for Bo Dallas. This is just essentially his gimmick on dope. Like he can't when he comes back. If the New Day sticks with this gospel preaching thing, that's Bo Dallas.
I hope they don't. That's just me. I don't know how far it can go. And it's just setting them up to fail if it's not dark and they're not heels.
Hell, put Bo Dallas with Bray Wyatt. There you go.
Oh God.
Yeah, let's bring back that awesome tag team from NXT.
The Rotundas.
Bring that back.
Hey, and wait, wasn't Bray Wyatt's before he became Bray Wyatt in FCW? Wasn't it Axel? What was his name? It was
Joe Henning.
No, Bray Wyatt.
Oh,
Bray Wyatt.
It was
for like 2 weeks. No, for 2 weeks he was like.
Oh, with the steel face. And
yeah,
stuff?
Yeah. The name was Axel. It was
Axel. Yeah, it had Axel.
Like Mulligan or something is last.
Yeah, Axel Mulligan. That's what it was.
Axel Mulligan. Yeah.
Hey, you never know. You never know. That might be a little foreshadowing. That'd be something. Hey, Doug. Quick note before we continue on into the main event here. I gotta say, Survivor Series it has lacked a lot in the past few years, but it always reminds me of one of my favorite main events of all time, and a match that was critically underrated on the top 100 WWE matches. The Alliance match versus WWF. Obviously, the storyline sucked, but the match was A+ caliber. One of my favorites.
Dude, 2001 was just an amazing year. And when you get that roster of guys that was there, and then you have that match with everybody involved.
The Invasion sucked.
The Invasion angle was terrible, but Paul Heyman on commentary was amazing. And the roster of talent was amazing.
And we talked about JR and that with the count too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Earl Hebner, I mean, come on, man. Nobody sold a slow count like Earl Hebner. Nobody. So, Lil Nate does it okay. Mike Chioda is never good at it, but Earl Hebner was the king. He just was. Everybody remembers when the double Hebner, the twin Hebners cost the glorious immortal Hulk Hogan the WWF Championship. I mean, those two guys, the Hebners, they're in a class themselves when it comes to officials. I don't care. I don't care if Earl Hebner's on the street right now selling "I Screwed Brett" T-shirts. I don't care. The guy's a legend and should go in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Nope.
I know he's not, but he should. That's just like that's just like they were kissing Chyna's butt the entire time on this Diva Monday Night War episode, but she's never going to go in the Hall of Fame. That's the acknowledgement right there that she gets. The Divas Monday Night War episode. That's what she gets. She ain't getting the Hall of Fame, and Earl Hebner isn't either, even though he's a legend. Before we move on to the main event, we already talked about the fact that the New Day has been rumored to be appearing on tonight's show, since it's free. And we already have talked about the fact that Roman Reigns is supposed to appear on the show, which is free. Who else? Because rumors are all afly. We talked about one guy on Monday, and it's hilarious to me. Yes, we're WrestlingRumors.net. Yes, we report what's going on around the internet. But by God, we don't put headlines out that says huge superstar rumored to be appearing. And you have to sign up for our private list to figure out who it was.
Is this a pipe bomb?
And then they type in Randy Orton as the surprise guy that's supposed to be coming out tonight at Survivor Series. Who, in the bluest of blue hells, did not see Randy Orton coming onto this show? I don't understand. It's his hometown. He has set up a feud with Seth Rollins and the Authority. Why is that a surprise? Why is that a huge rumored surprise guest? Why? It's not. It's Randy Orton. We expected Randy Orton to be a part of this. I said Monday, the way I see the whole thing ending is that if the Authority is going to lose, it's going to be at the hands of Seth Rollins saving John Cena. That's the way that's going to go down if it goes down that way.
Randy Orton saving.
Wait, you mean Orton saving?
Orton is I said Seth Rollins. Well, okay, I'm sorry, I got caught up in the moment. Seth Rollins is about to win, and Randy Orton RKO's the son of a b. Okay, that's how that's going to happen if he is in fact in that moment of the match. However, we did get another freaking rumor out of left field, and we've teased it about it a little bit, but let's talk about it because we're talking about the main event, Team Cena versus Team Authority. Before we get out of here, the kickoff show starts in 20 minutes. It's going to take 20 minutes at least to talk about all this bull crap that's going to happen in this match. It's a 45-minute match, for Christ's sake. It baffles me that this is, and I love the fact that on Twitter, our little guy that always comes on to troll as much as he can with the worst grammar on the face of the planet. Anytime we're never talking about the guy I'm about to talk about, he decides to ask about the guy I'm about to talk about, and it never makes sense. Buddy, Michael, I love the fact that you're asking this question today because today it's relevant, and so I thank you, sir. You and your god-awful grammar. I thank you for it.
He's gonna crew him.
He says, do you think Sting shows up at main event and CREWS? Does he show up at main event and cruise Triple H?
I told you he's already facing Fandango in the pre-show, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course, and of course Damien Stingdown will be dropping from the rafters. Let's be real. No, here's the deal. Big rumor. Sting is supposed to make his WWE debut tonight at Survivor Series. Not saying he's going to wrestle, but he could definitely come in the ring and hit some Scorpion Death Drops on some cats and see what happens. The big thing for me is that that multiple sources have said Sting got the call. It's not just one source; it's multiple ones. So you can take it with a grain of salt. I still, to this moment, right now, knowing that there's multiple sources saying Sting is in St. Louis, and the fact that they flew him from Dallas to Kansas City and then drove him to St. Louis, my thing is, I'm not going to believe it until I see his white and black face paint in the ring on the show tonight. That's when I will say, yes, Sting will be there. How about that? That's when I will say Sting is a part of WWE. He's in a ring. That's when I'll admit that Sting's a part of this thing, okay? That's when I will be backing my horses on the fact that Sting's going to wrestle at WrestleMania 31. When I see him in the ring, that's when I believe that he's going to be there, okay? Yes, there's multiple sources. Whatever. Is he going to drop from the ceiling? No, Marks. No one's ever going to drop from the ceiling ever again. Can you see the lights go out at the end of this match and expect The Undertaker or Bray Wyatt to get involved? And it becomes Sting because he's been sitting under the ring for the last 45 minutes, sweating his 48-year-old butt off. Yes, that may happen.
Is he wearing a T-shirt?
He's wearing a T-shirt, and no, there's no way. listen, if Sting debuts tonight, there's no way he's wearing a T-shirt. Even though he may be wearing his Sting T-shirt that's the WWE one. Maybe. I don't know. But if it's me, I'm putting him in the uni. I'm putting him in the overcoat, and he's going to be standing in the ring with
a WWE Network T-shirt.
No, he's going to be wearing the $9.99 T-shirt. That's what's going to be happening, everybody. If Sting is there, I'll be surprised. Even though there's rumors, I'll still be surprised because I swear I will never believe it until I see it. But I could see that being the end, and that could take us to Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania 31. We know he said he wanted to face The Undertaker. Rob Feinstein, who really does have his ear to the business and knows a lot of things, says that he does believe that The Undertaker's done for now. I don't believe that. I think The Undertaker will wrestle again. But as far as WrestleMania 31 goes, they want Sting on that event. Sting has said if not Undertaker, then he would like John Cena, Triple H, or Daniel Bryan. Triple H needs an opponent. Vince McMahon needs a representative in the Vince McMahon versus Triple H struggle for power. You could see Triple H versus Sting in a match at WrestleMania 31 if he appears in the ring tonight. Guys, what do you think of this rumor? Where do you think it goes if it's true? Sting.
Yeah, go for it, Alba.
It's crazy to me to think that tonight could be the night after all of these years. I mean, after years and years, and like, it makes me think back to being a little kid and being like, okay, you know, I was a WWE fan growing up, and you had Austin, you had The Rock, you had all those guys, and that other company, the one name, I mean, there's Goldberg, obviously, but that was just synonymous, was Sting. And that tonight, 14, 15, 16 years later, could be the night that he actually crosses over is insane to me. I know a while back we heard the rumors about him being general manager. Raw or SmackDown or anything this week. I just... finding the specifics of how he'd get involved tonight would be the troubling thing for me.
Guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the same boat. If you held a gun to my head and said, tell me, is Sting going to be there? I would say no, just because it's like that's the safe way to go. We've said Sting could have appeared a million times now.
Of course.
And he hasn't
poor
showed up,
Sting
so.
kid.
Yeah,
I'm a Sting fan, yeah.
I'm all over the Sting rumors just because I think there is some sort of, you know, WWE work going on here. They knew this rumor was out there. They probably pushed for this thing to get out there.
Yep.
And this is a perfect way. No, it really is. When you think about it, it's the perfect way to get the network subscribers up because people genuinely think that Sting is going to be there tonight. But then there was also the reports that if Sting does show up tonight, he's not going to be on television all week, which makes absolutely no sense. If Sting is at Survivor Series, you are tuning into Raw because you think Sting is going to be there. And if he doesn't show up, there are going to be some pissed off fans.
They'll at least
sorry?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'll at least have to acknowledge it on Raw the next night and say, you know, he'll be on Raw in the next couple of weeks.
No, that's not good enough. You need Sting to be there live and in color on Monday Night Raw, and if that's not the case, then there is no chance in hell that he's going to show up tonight.
You don't want him in black and white?
Unless they pre-tape something tonight, unless they pre-tape something.
I could see a video package tonight. I think that's the best case scenario where they just say he's coming. And he's going to be on Raw, or he's going to be at TLC, or he's going to be at the Royal Rumble or something. I could live with that. But when he does come, I honestly do think that he is going to be put into some sort of an authoritative role. I'm not saying he's going to be the general manager. I'm not saying he's running the whole company. But he's going to be in a position of power. And what you said about The Undertaker, I really do feel that The Undertaker is done. I do not think he needs a send-off match. 22-1 doesn't mean anything. We saw Stone Cold Steve Austin leave without a send-off match or whatever. People kind of knew that facing The Rock at 19 was his last bout, but they never gave him a send-off. So I think the same thing's going to happen with Undertaker, and at WrestleMania 31 we're going to get Sting versus Triple H.
You know, we have to give Triple H credit, by the way. You mentioned Trolly H. That's Cesaro, little swerve.
Oh, my God.
That was a troll, yeah.
They're going to do it again.
He is
probably. Phenomenal.
He has gotten so good at just trolling the IWC.
What if Cesaro tonight was used a la Kurt Angle in 01 out of nowhere and just cost the Authority the match?
Then he would be right back where he was at WrestleMania.
Oh my
30.
goodness.
He would be the savior of the masses. He would be the guy. He'd be the next big face.
Ugh, it wouldn't happen, but man.
But man, I mean, this with all the Sting stuff, again, it's one of those things. And Ed brought up a good point on Twitter. Of course, Ed called at JBL's Dragon. If you want to follow him on Twitter, he brought up a good point, and I have to say this because of the stipulations on the main event tonight. They did an amazing job of building this main event up. They did. I'm excited for the main event. I want to see what happens. I want to see what goes down, who gets eliminated by who, and there's questions that we have about that because of who's in the match. We've got our IC champion, our U.S. champion. We've got guys that have not lost by pin or submission. I mean, the way these guys get eliminated matters tonight. So we're going to talk about that in a second because we've got about 13 minutes left for this show. But Ed asked, do you think they're going to throw too many pieces into the main event tonight and overdo the ending? And for me, I think it's assumed. I think that yes, they're going to do a lot of stuff in 45 minutes with these 10 guys, and you're going to get an oversaturation of things go down. Even we may see Kane trip and fall again. Nobody knows. We'll see when that moment comes. But I really do think they may oversaturate the match and make it seem a little less important than it actually is because they're going to have so many different moving pieces. Whether that's having Roman Reigns and Randy Orton and Sting be a part of this thing, if the rumors are true, which they're probably not all three true, let's go ahead and be honest, that's too much. Except for the stipulations for this match call for too much. Like
drastic.
When you have a stipulation like the Authority loses, then they're done, and they have to fight for power again because they're still executives of the company. They're going to do everything that they can. They're going to pull every punch. They're going to try to cheat as much as possible to win the match. And then the other side is you've got John Cena's team will be fired if they do not win. Everybody's going to be pulling out every stop, every special move they can think of, every single angle that can be added to this match will be added to this match. It's going to be 45 minutes to an hour. It's got to be a spectacle. It's got to be something that people remember. It's free, but it's going to be bringing in subscribers to the network. It's going to try to get new eyes on Raw tomorrow night, and it's got to because TLC is going to be a waste if they don't succeed tonight. It won't be. It'll be awful. It's got to be something huge, and yeah, it's going to be oversaturated, but the stipulations already tell you that it's going to be oversaturated. So I think if you go back and you ask the question again, ask yourself, do these stipulations mean there's going to be so much in this match that it's going to be hard to follow everything? More than likely. That's what I'd have to say to you, Ed. I really think that you're going to see so much stuff in this match that you're just going to be bouncing back and forth, and it's going to make everybody feel like, honestly, this may be one of those events where the main event makes you feel like there's so much that's happened during the show that maybe the rest of the show wasn't so bad. And maybe that's why they're banking on the main event being what they hope it's going to be. Maybe they're really hoping that the main event sells this thing and makes it a success. But to me, that's putting all your eggs in one ginormous basket and just praying that everything goes well. What if one of them gets hurt mid-match? We're looking at so many injuries, it's ridiculous. But you got Rusev on the squad of Team Authority that has not been pinned or submitted ever. You've got somebody like Luke Harper just debuted and won the IC title. These two guys are in a position to be two monster heels. How do you get them eliminated? How do you eliminate them from Team Authority?
I know what I would do with them.
And who eliminates them?
I know what I would do with Rusev. You could have him kind of like he's already feuded a bit with Big Show. Have him slap the accolade on him in the middle of the ring. Have Big Show tap out, but just have him keep the hold on. I mean, Rusev isn't. If you want to just put like a ranking on the 5 members of Team Authority, Rusev has the least ties to the Authority, so he might not risk he might not go out there and just fight for Triple H. He's going to fight for himself. He could very well just slap the accolade on someone like Big Show in the middle of the ring. Show taps out. He keeps it on there, gets himself DQ'd, and that way you don't have something in which he has to get pinned or submitted for the first time. Smart.
That's exactly how I would have done it too, B-Song. Now, if you want him to take the fall, you mentioned he has a history with the Big Show. I'd have him get blindsided by a knockout punch. I don't want to see him fight and actually lose. I'd want to see him either get distracted in some way and turn around and get the knockout punch. because that's a believable way, because this guy is monstrous. They have a history. It's the payback. But again, I'm totally with you, B-Song. That's exactly how I would book it as well.
And see, I thought about the DQ thing because that's the only thing I could think of that would get him out of there safely. And for me, you got 3 guys that are on Team Authority, being Rusev, Mark Henry, and Luke Harper, who aren't really tied to the Authority. I would have all 3 of them somehow, because, you know, Team Authority says we want to dismantle Team Cena. I'd have all 3 of them get disqualified. I'd have all 3 of them like going crazy to where Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are freaking out at ringside, like, what are you doing? Like, you're gonna cost us the match because you're all just going nuts. And then of course
Harper's a team player.
And you have Kane and Rollins start eliminating the other 4 to get you to Dolph Ziggler, or to get you to Ryback and John Cena, who are probably going to be the last 2 remaining, with Seth Rollins at the end of this thing, and then Rollins eliminates Ryback or something. Triple H gets involved. Something's going to happen, but the end of the match to me is going to be Seth Rollins and John Cena and possibly Ryback. Those are going to be your final 3 until crazy things start going down. The Authority, the Stooges get in and start trying to run amok. I don't know. For me, the 3 guys that aren't associated with Team Authority, I would have them almost cost them the match.
Yeah,
Walter, how would you book this thing, Walter?
Well, as far as Rusev goes, I could see it going one of 2 ways. Actually, one of 3 ways, because what you guys are talking about is completely logical. I could see Rusev and Big Show brawling outside the ring, and both of them get counted out. Just a double count out, and they work their way to the back, and that be that.
Yeah.
As my outside-the-box suggestion, I could see Rusev on the apron, and, you know, Seth Rollins being the team captain, he gets a little overzealous. He's always demanding the tags. And like you said, Alex, with Rusev not really having a tie to Team Authority, maybe he just says, screw this, I don't need this. He just walks to the back. He just leaves the Authority high and dry.
That would be good, too. And that would also be in line of what I'm saying. Like, he could walk out. That's how he gets eliminated. Then you have Mark Henry get disqualified on Big Show or somebody. And then, of course, you can have Luke Harper and Eric Rowan do the count-out angle. And all 3 of them somehow get out of the match in a non-team way. Like, you know, how they're all one gets counted out because he's brawling outside, one just walks away like Rusev, and of course Mark Henry gets disqualified for you know, being the strongest, you know, the world's strongest man that just goes crazy. And then you're left with just the 2 Authority guys with John Cena, and then maybe Triple H amends the match and throws other people on Team Authority. I don't know.
I get what you're saying with Rusev walking out like that. That's not something that
That's a face move.
Exactly. Bingo. Exactly. And that is not what you want. And we've already seen complaints about the way they've booked Rusev, where he's done some facey kind of things, which really doesn't make any sense at all.
Like pointing at Great Khali when he faced Great Khali, like, why am I facing this guy?
Don't too soon about Khali, but I'd put Rowan over Harper because it's a non-title thing, and they usually like doing singles matches that are non-title matches before you get a title match with the other guy going over. Let this count as your non-title match. It would give Rowan a lot of momentum going into a feud with Harper because, let's be honest, that's the way they're going with that.
Yep.
And that'll be awesome. It'll be great. That's how I do that. Let me say this, though, and I've been thinking about this all show. I think Ryback needs to be the lone survivor in this match.
Yes.
I think he absolutely needs to be the lone survivor because he has been screwed over so many times in the past with the pay-per-view where he is dominated and then something fluky happens. Even if you had Triple H cost him an elimination, it just kills the momentum. Cena needs to be the one taken out and be like, man, if we didn't have Ryback, we lose that match. If it weren't for him, because that's your rub on Ryback right there.
I like that, but I can't see a situation with this match where Cena's not one of the last 2 standing. And I'm not saying he gets eliminated. I'm saying he does not get eliminated. I can't see a situation in this match where Cena gets eliminated.
I'm just telling you how I'd book it. I'd book it where Cena has to be reliant on Ryback to get the win.
I like that.
Yeah. I'll give you that, Doug, just because if you do go Lesnar Cena at TLC, you can't get eliminated.
Well, Cena could get screwed or something.
No, then you were probably going to have to set up a feud between the guy who eliminates him.
Right. Unless it's the Stooges or Triple H.
Triple
then you're
H
looking
could
at
hit a
John Cena,
pedigree.
Triple H.
Triple H could hit a pedigree on Cena, and let
Rollins gets the cover.
Rollins gets the cover. That's still Rollins eliminating Cena.
And then Ryback takes out Triple H.
It's something along those lines, yes. And Orton maybe takes out Rollins. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna see something crazy go.
Exactly. We're expecting something crazy. And I don't. Normally, we're like, oh yeah, something crazy is gonna happen, and something crazy doesn't happen.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The biggest FU would be that like
Triple H, Cena, AA.
Right. Yeah. No. The biggest FU would be that Triple H just, Triple H comes out and all this stuff happens, and then he literally, there's no Sting, there's no Orton, there's no Reigns, and Cena just kicks out at 2 every time, and then hits the AA, and it's over. That would be the biggest FU.
You know what the biggest comparison would be? At SummerSlam when Team WWE took on the Nexus.
Oh, God.
Eliminated Barrett and Gabriel, and that was the end of the show. Maybe we get the same crappy outcome here at Survivor Series.
Oh, I hope not, man. But,
Did
hey,
we
guess
all
what?
agree
It's free.
Cena cannot get the final fall tonight?
Cena can't win.
It has to be Ryback?
Yeah, Ryback can't get eliminated.
Logically.
And if Roman Reigns isn't hurt,
when have we seen logic?
If Roman Reigns isn't hurt, Ryback doesn't get any of this.
No.
Triple H needs to have a reason to go after Ryback. He needs to say, you cost me, you are the reason, and that's why I think Ryback needs that pin, and it doesn't need to be Cena.
He has enough of a reason now. He was supposed to be on Team Authority, and he turned his back. That would seem like a pretty good reason to be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, and of course we saw Triple H give him the pedigree.
Yeah, what else do you need?
So to me, logic, and John, I mean, you are the bearer of logic in this thing, where Ryback should be the last guy. And we're gonna end the show on this statement, and then we can get closing thoughts from everybody. But Ryback, exactly what you said, Ryback should be the guy that gets the final pin, whether that's from Randy Orton coming in or not. Ryback should be the guy that gets the pinfall, seals the deal, sends the Authority off. What we haven't talked, we've all been talking about the fact that Team Cena wins. Did we all pick Team Cena to win?
Yes.
Did anybody pick Team Cena to lose?
No one picked Team. John originally had Team Authority winning, but he changed it, and I was nice enough to change it.
Well, let's talk about the fact.
Don't even go there.
Let's talk about why you think. Let's talk about why you think Team Authority, or you had an inkling that Team Authority might actually pull it out here.
Because the idea of Vince or a higher power of some sort vouching for the guys to get rehired, and that would be a way to get things red hot. Imagine a Ziggler who's been off television for 3 weeks, all of a sudden coming out of nowhere and attacking a Seth Rollins or something. It would be very exciting television. But then the last time that happened, we saw Juan Cena. So.
We did see Juan Cena. But no, I mean, the thing is, if they do go, Team Authority gets the win. And, of course, Ziggler, Show, Rowan, and Ryback are fired, which I don't know why they added that stipulation. To me, I don't feel like that's going to happen. But if we see those guys get fired, because we've seen it before. We've seen this. We've seen that. Yeah. We've seen Cena fired and rehired before. I mean, we've seen this angle. If those guys get fired and Vince comes out the next night and appoints a new GM or something, and God forbid it's like when Ric Flair came out and hugged Vince McMahon. The consortium! Woo! It's me! We're partners. If they do that with Sting or Mick Foley or somebody, then we're just, wrestling's cyclical. It could all happen again. And, of course, whoever that is starts making moves to bring these guys back one after the other until they're all back into the fold. But if they do that, then you got to look at another Team Authority versus Team Cena match, whether that's on Raw or, at Invasion. Of course, at Invasion.
No, look. Here, I'm just going to leave it at this because I know we got to wrap up. Tonight is the night that they can redeem everything they screwed up with Ryback in the past 2 years. They can redeem it all. B-Song, it will be your early Christmas. They can fix everything.
It's Thanksgiving. You gotta feed them more. The feast lives on.
And that's B-Song with his final statement. Walter, what do you think here? Final words.
This is the most important pay-per-view of 2014. WWE needs something big to happen tonight. Otherwise, all of these people who subscribe to the network, like they said before, with these month-to-month, you could drop out whenever you want. If they want the fans to continue subscribing to the network, they need Survivor Series to be huge. They need someone big to show up. It's not going to be Sting, though.
I'll believe Sting when I see him in the daggum ring. That's when I'll believe that Sting's a part of this company in a on television basis. My final thing, they have the opportunity, John, and B-Song, they definitely, it's there. It's on a platter, ready to feed. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I don't see that happening. I will be very pleased if they do, because then we have another babyface that's built up. But I just don't see it happening. I see something more along the lines of Randy Orton being the guy that gets the more, that gets the bigger pop, and then John Cena gets that last pinfall because of the way they've booked it, the way they've built it, and that's where we're going to be left with the Authority, maybe attacking all, maybe just obliterating Cena at some point, and the lights go out, and we get somebody. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not. I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger on rebuilding Ryback to what he could have been 2 years ago.
See, I could see them thinking that Ryback shell-shocking Triple H at the end of the show is enough, and that is not enough.
No, it's not. But and again, logically, Ryback should be the one to end. But when have we seen logic used in WWE in a long time?
Especially with Ryback.
It just hasn't happened. So the kickoff show has started. Go turn it on, whatever device you use. It's on. It's free on YouTube, on Google, on everything else. So go check it out. If you have the WWE Network, go ahead and queue it up, and let's watch Fandango take on somebody random, since we don't even know who it is, and he'll probably lose. And, of course, you can follow us at WrestleRumors on Twitter. I'll be live tweeting throughout the entire show. B-Song's going to go ahead and write up a story about Sting returning, or debuting, even if he never does, and then we'll just trash it later. But you know how we do things. At WrestleRumors.net, we want to be the first to get you what you need and what you want. So continue watching with us on Monday night, tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the exact kind of show, Wrestling Warm-Up. We'll be building up whatever happens. We talk about whatever happens tonight. We're building up Raw, and hopefully we'll get a good episode tomorrow night as well, since it'll be free just like this show. How about that? Thanks to the guys that appeared tonight. We love you guys. Keep at it. We'll catch you on the next one.